Hello, my friends. This is Wake Angel 2001 coming at you with something that almost never happens. I found in one of my local Targets two female Transformers on the shelf at the same time. When does this ever happen? I cannot recall another time except for when they released RC and Windblade in the same wave. Or was it like Windblade and Chromia? There was only one other time that I can really think of, and it was during Thrilling 30, and it was some combination of RC, Windblade, and Chromia. So that happened. But yes, it has happened again, and two female Transformers are out at the same time. The KSI Widow from the concept art, and Transformers 1 Elita 1, both in a studio series. Technically speaking, even though Transformers Age of Extinction is a much older movie, we haven't really been waiting for KSI Widow for a long time because she's only a concept character that wasn't actually in that movie. But Elita 1 should have been out a freaking year ago. Transformers 1 came out an entire year ago, and we're only now getting the Elita 1 figure? What is wrong with Hasbro? It's a good thing I like the characters so much because, like, if I was in it for the movie, I would have lost interest a long time ago. So, let us get started on the review. This is going to be split into two parts, of course, so it doesn't get too long. And this video is going to focus on Elita 1. Alright, so the packaging is very, like studio series. We got a glamour shot of the character, same picture but bigger on the side. The back of the box shows Elita with her vehicle mode. And how about this? A little bio. It's been forever since we got these. Elita 1 is a team leader who gets the job done no matter the cost. It's a short little blurb, but it's better than nothing. Okay, so let's go ahead and get her out of the packaging so we can take a look at the long-awaited Transformers Studio Series Transformers 1 Elita 1. That is a lot to say, and I'm just going to stick to Elita 1 from now on. Alright, so here is Elita 1 in all her glory. She has this nice dark fuchsia, which, helps to differentiate her from the other female pink Transformer. She is a very slim and lanky robot, and all things considered for how slim she is, she has a relatively small backpack. It's pretty compact back there, and its size is actually doubled by this one panel, which I do believe is just the jetpack from the movie, which is a removable accessory, although it's really hard to peg on there. There's two pegs that it goes into, but they're really shallow, and it wants to friction itself out as you're putting it on. Once I finally got it to stay in place, though, it seems to be okay. It's not easily falling off, at least. And the aesthetic is actually pretty good. I always liked the way that the characters in Transformers 1 looked. I feel like it's like if you added a movie flavoring to the way the G1 characters looked. Like, as opposed to, say, Transformers Prime, which combined the aesthetics of the movieverse and animated. Or, like the Bumblebee and Rise of the Beast movies, which they also did the stylization, but they lean more into the realistic side rather than the cartoonish side. I like that. We should have more fully animated Transformers movies because, I really think that they look their best when they're not trying to look like they can stand next to living human beings and rather just get to be the, ideal renditions of these characters in a 3D form. Now, if I was to say there's any flaws, it's that her chest is really just kind of hovering amongst a sea of a pile of, parts. Her shoulders seem like they're hovering a little bit there. Although I guess it does kind of fit in with the aesthetic that, she just got her transformation cog recently and her body expanded to fit all of her new vehicle-y bits. You can see that she actually has wheels folded up, making up the mass of her torso. There's a lot of folded up stuff that goes into this transformation, which is kind of impressive. I'm going to get it into vehicle mode later on. So let's break down articulation. She has a ball joint in the neck, so she can turn around, and there is a hinge here, so like you can actually move around a bit. Although, like, I don't like this pegs, but very weakly. So you got to be careful, like, to hold her chest down when you're posing her head, or else you're just gonna like pull her torso off, and that's no good. No bueno. Shoulders are ball jointed. The sculpt of the shoulder prevents her from full-on T posing, but she has pretty good range otherwise. Elbow gets a solid 90-degree bend, maybe like 91 degrees, and has a well-placed bicep swivel. Very big piece of kibble down there, but that kind of like, I do not want to get elbow dropped by this girl. Shaw! Like, that would be deadly. Nothing in the wrist because the hand is pretty much just integrated into this whole little kibble thing. Waist joint, though. Very nice waist. Hips are ball jointed. She can get pretty far out, but can't go full 90 degrees spread because of limitations of ball joints. Although, like, if you can do it if you rotate them that way. And this actually shows off the construction of the mushroom peg, which you I don't think she has a thigh swivel. No, I thought she had a thigh swivel, but apparently she doesn't. It's just the range of the ball. She does, however, have epic double-jointed knees. I can guarantee that that's for transformation, but holy crap, look at how deep that goes down. Like, this thing can probably pull off a three-point landing better than any other Transformer I've ever had. Like, holy crap, that is, look at that, that is effortlessly posable. That looks really cool. Wow. And let's see, underneath that epic double-jointed knee, we have a flaw. This ball-jointed ankle is too soft. Like, it's literally a ball joint holding that foot together, and like, it's not the strongest ball joint. It's holding up okay-ish, but it, like, when I'm messing around with her, like, her ankles just want to give up on me and have her slump back. Even though she has these little heel spurs, like her ankle joints are just a little bit too soft for how tall this figure is. And yeah, it is decently tall. Let's get into size comparison so you have a little bit of context. Here is the more G1 style Elita 1 with her much brighter pinks and reds. And as you can see, this version of Elita 1 is a little bit taller. Like, I have her legs spread out a little bit, which is taking a small fraction of her height away, but if I put them closer together like her G1 counterpart is, you can see she is a solid head taller than the G1 figure. And to compare her to another movie female, here is Bumblebee RC, and she kind of towers over her. Which makes sense because she supposedly has a T-Cog of one of the former Primes. So if you have one of the former Prime's T-Cogs, that probably does make you a top-tier Transformer. Although, I do kind of love how Transformers 1 continuity means that little Bumblebee, infamously known as the smallest of the Transformers, actually has the mighty T-Cog of a former Prime. I guess Badassatron is actually a pretty fitting name for him. Alright, so that is how she does as an action figure. I think she looks good, she poses good. Some minor flaws, but nothing too bad. So I say overall, this is a pretty good win. Let's get her into vehicle mode so we can judge that. Oops, my mistake. I forgot to discuss her accessory. Silly me, I got a little bit overexcited. So, she has a big old gun. That is a big gun. It's longer than her arm. It has a peg that goes into her hand. Very nice. And it has a little bit of an articulated peg, so it can, like, move slightly. Yeah. Yeah, see? I'm assuming that this is so that it can be wielded in vehicle mode. We'll see when I transform her. But yeah, it's a decent gun. It's painted on both sides. It has this nice sleek look to it. Yeah. It has one of those square pegs on the side. I kind of wish that she had a square hole on one of her sides so that you could stick it into the side like this. But nah, apparently it doesn't have that feature. That, again, this is probably for storage in vehicle mode. Is there a place where it pegs on? I don't know if, like, it might, under here there might be something. Let's get, wow, for how hard it was for me to get this thing into place now. Okay. Yeah, there's nothing back here that it would peg onto. So yeah, nice weapon accessory. One simple thing. And yes, That's what her back panel looks like once you remove this thing. Okay, now vehicle mode. Alright, so here is her vehicle mode. I have her gun pegged into her side to show how it's meant to be stored in this mode. Yes, you are supposed to put that square peg into these holes on her shoulders. The instructions tell you to put it this way so that it's pointing behind her. I guess so you can shoot at pursuers. Although if you put it on the other side, then it'll be in front of her so she could shoot while she's pursuing. So, yeah. But we're going to take that off so that we can appreciate the actual shape of the vehicle. This vehicle feels like an afterthought. It kind of barely holds itself together. Like, no matter how hard I tried, I could not get this panel to properly peg in to the two pegs that it's supposed to peg into. It's just kind of in there because, like, it's held in by the friction of the joints. Like, yeah. And the front wheel, like, it turns, it does not spin. And if I push it along, like, you can see on this cushion, I can kind of make that front wheel turn, but on a table or any other surface I've tried it on, it does not want to turn. And there is almost no clearance for the wheels. Like, I kind of had to, like, mess around with this to get it to come low enough. And, like, look at her head. It's just kind of exposed there, and the back of her head is just scraping along. Her back wheels have almost no clearance over her head. Like, let me see if I can get down there. Yeah, sorry if it looks a little bit sideways right now, but yeah, you see that? Like, I feel like a kid playing with this thing, doing it along, is just totally gonna scuff up the back of the figure's head. Like, that's not good. I do not like that. And, yeah, I mean, the vehicle mode just looks so abstract. I do not remember it looking this clumsy in the movie. Like, am I remembering this wrong? Like, I feel like in the movie she was so much sleeker and cooler. Like, I feel like, the vehicle mode that Bumblebee movie RC transforms into is a much better version of this. Like, it just feels clumsy. I'm not a big fan of this vehicle mode. And like, literally this thing is just sort of pegged into the back. Like, see, like there's literally a peg which is folded up inside the robot mode that unpegs, that you kind of unpeg this from. And it's actually kind of hard to get it off once it's on. So yeah, like this literally just kind of folds up inside the robot. But yeah, like, I do think it's kind of clever the way these two back wheels fold in half, but they're so thin, and like I said, they have almost no clearance over the head. I don't know, like, I feel like they picked a mode to focus on, and they stuck with it, and they accepted a sacrifice of quality of the other mode. So this thing has a really kind of cool and decent robot mode, but the vehicle mode does indeed suffer for it. And like, I feel like this whole transformation is all about very carefully making sure that you get a whole bunch of crap to line up and loosely peg into itself. I feel like turning it back into robot mode is like something that I can do while not even really looking at the figure. Like I feel like this figure would just kind of fall onto itself and be in robot mode, whereas like putting it into vehicle mode is like assembling a house of cards. Yeah, see, look at that. Not even, and like, it is kind of interesting how you just kind of have this panel here on her arm. Like, rotating this around does so little. It does so little. Like, makes you wonder why they even bother doing it other than to add a transformation step so it doesn't feel underthought. But yeah, look at that. I got her into robot mode. Like, it's... Like, this thing is definitely... It was intended to be in robot mode most of the time. The vehicle mode is an absolute afterthought because, hey, it's a transformer. It has to transform, and oh my god, I can't believe I cannot get these heel spurs out. Yeah, there we go. Yes. So yeah, that is my judgment on Elita 1. Oh, screw this. Yeah. So, Elita 1. Really good looking and highly posable robot mode. No faults there, except for maybe her ankles being a little bit too weak. And a vehicle mode that absolutely feels undercooked. Like, they made this thing to have a really good displayable robot mode, and that is it. Like, her vehicle mode is absolutely terrible for playing with, and it barely displays well. It's not even really an appealing vehicle mode if you really look at it. It's like, you can kind of tell how it's just kind of like barely holding itself together. So, yeah, like, this is definitely a robot, a toy you're going to keep in robot mode 99% of the time. So that is my judgment for the Transformers 1 Elita 1 figure. If you're a big collector of female Transformers like me, she's fine. If you are the kind that likes to display them in vehicle mode, then you're probably going to want to skip her. But we all know, like the live-action movie figures are very focused on having excellent vehicle modes. So let's see how her companion piece is in the next video. Wake Angel 2001 signing off.